Now, with the conviction arc complete, before we move on, first we must look back on some of the crazy shit you people said. Actually, real quick, before we do that, I want to give you just a quick update in general. First things first, I put out a video asking you guys for recommendations as to things to read, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who responded, because I got a lot of responses, a lot of recommendations, and I was able to put together like a little list. And yeah, it was a long list, let's just put it that way, of comments. And somehow, might I add, that I specifically said, please don't recommend One Piece, and somehow I still got 2 recommendations for One Piece in there. What was I saying? But yeah, I got a lot of recommendations here. And just in case anybody was curious and wanted to know, Vagabond won by a landslide. Actually, it won by 9 votes. So maybe not a landslide, but immediately behind it, 9 votes behind it, was Vinland Saga, followed very closely by Monster and 20th Century Boys, both of which were tied for a very long time before right at the end Monster pulled ahead. But apparently whoever that guy is, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, people are really wanting me to check out that guy. But I mean, this list goes, Chainsaw Man and Gantz and Akira and Hellsing and
Promised Neverland, Fire Punch, Children of the Sea, One Punch Man, Pluto, Blood on the Tracks, Flowers of Evil, Attack on Titan, Lucifer, Biscuit, Hami, Kingdom, Rainbow, Alice in Borderland, Claymore.
I saw Claymore, and I immediately thought, what the fuck is this, Queen's Blade? Which is an anime that was on Netflix back in the day, back when I was watching anime, and I clicked on it, and I'm like, I don't think this is what I meant to watch. By the way, it is not Queen's Blade, and it looks like actually that made it onto one of my short lists. I don't remember which one. It doesn't really matter. This is taking too long. But anyway, long story short, I went to the store, couple of different bookstores, and I just kind of perused the aisles, and I took my papers with me. I looked like a big old fat nerd standing there shuffling through my papers and then flipping through books trying to figure out which one I wanted to go ahead and invest my time in. I calculated all of this together, all of your recommendations, and I mixed that with a little bit of my research, Googling, and came up with a short list of what I was going to I thought I was going to buy. I thought I was going to get 20th Century Boys or Monster, to be quite honest, because that just sounded like the most interesting to me. And when I got to the bookstore, I stood there with them in my hands, and for the life of me, I couldn't pick between the 2. I could not decide which one I would rather read between Monster and 20th Century Boys, and the whole time I had this other one in my hand that I just couldn't seem to put down. No matter how hard I tried, it just didn't want to leave my hand and go back to the shelf. So somehow I left the house to go buy Monster or 20th Century Boys, and instead I came home with Dorohedoro. So I guess that's the next one on the list that shall be coming down the pipeline. Actually, I'm not reading it right away, but that's the one that I've decided to start collecting and putting on the shelf because, I don't know, it was like glued to my hand. I couldn't, no matter how hard I tried to just be like, no, we don't need this. I'm pretty sure I don't need this, and walk out of the store. It left with me. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so Dorohedoro will be the next manga you see collecting on my shelf. Although I have decided that the very next thing that I do, I'm going to take a mini 1-week break between the Conviction arc and the Millennium Falcon. And in that 1-week break, I will be doing book 1 of Blam, just because I can't hold back any longer. I'm so excited. I made the mistake of opening it just because I got it and like flipping through the first couple of pages. And next thing I knew, I was like 20 pages in. I was like, uh-oh. this is, so I won't be opening this one because God knows what'll happen then. Anyway, on to the comments. I don't mind Puck, I don't necessarily like his humor, and to be honest, I skip most of his speech bubbles. However, I do like the fact that he really doesn't fit into this dark world and stand out so much. It feels intentional and makes sense with his fairy nature. How do you have an opinion on Puck at all if you don't? I skip most of the speech bubbles. The night before the eclipse, Rosine was among the apostles who slaughtered the wounded members of the Band of the Falcon, Rickert seeing only a quick glimpse of her blurry image while gathering water just before the killing began. I did and I didn't know this. I saw her in the conviction arc, and I immediately went, I've seen this chick before, and I went back through, and I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and I couldn't find her, and I thought, I know that I saw her. And I could, because I wanted to be able to like, oh yeah, look, it's that chick that from before. I couldn't find it. I tried really hard too. So I got this comment. I'm like, that's where she's from. Yes, I did know that. No, I couldn't pinpoint where she was from because I couldn't find it. Quick correction. Chronologically, the Golden Age, Black Swordsman, Lost Children, and so on. I thought I addressed this in the video. I mean, I did, but I didn't make it super clear when I say that when this one was added, it made them all slot right together, and I thought, to me, that made the Black Swordsman slot into its spot, and I know where it goes. I knew at the time, but the amount of comments that I got of people being like, by the way, the Black Swordsman goes, yes, I know. I was very well aware, even before I opened up the conviction arc, that this is how that was supposed to fit together. Some arcs you have to treat like Mad Max, where Guts is just the vehicle into whatever situation Miura is showing you. I've never thought about it or looked at it like that, but I thought that was an interesting comment. That was a newer one that I actually didn't see until I was kind of pulling these out for this video. Yeah, I agree with the Puck humor point. Feels like there would have been 100 different ways to do humor, and Miura decided to do the classic anime style, unfunny one. I'm not the only one! All of y'all! Yes! Smart people. I have some smart people in my comment section. That's all I'm gonna say. To help you remember the name of the Holy Iron Chain Knights, just think Hicks. I like this one. I personally come from like a small farming community in like rural Ohio, where like kids that come to school and talk about their new tractor. So this one I thought was kind of funny. It just resonated with me anyway. Hashtag justice for judo. I finally got one. I've been trying for like 4 videos to get justice for judo trending, and I finally got one person to at least write it for me. Thank you. How did you do that? Very carefully. I hope you give your honest opinion and not just going along with the comment because Berserk fans are praising it too much and hyping it too much, even though, in my opinion, as a whole, Berserk is mid. That's harsh as Oh, I'm going to address this one in a couple different parts. First off, yes, I do give my honest opinion. I absolutely do. Take, for example, the Hyperion Cantos, which is a very, very beloved book series, and I did a book review for every single book in that series. And by the time you get to Endymion and Rise of Endymion, I got so frustrated and I despised those books so much that I did a rant review on one of them instead of just like a spoiler-free book review because I just didn't like it. And I've got nothing but hate comments for it because that is such a beloved series and people like those books so much that to rant review it as just because it's just I disliked it that much. Oh well, I'm sorry. So yes, I give my honest opinion. And sometimes people don't like it. And then secondly, praising it too much, even though in my opinion Berserk as a whole is mid. Wow, that's intense. I mean, good for you. Good for you for having an opinion and for just throwing it out there in the middle of a Berserk video with this type of community. I just think that's hilarious. Hilarious. Anyway, but I will address real quick the idea in here that the Berserk community praises it too much. I will say that the Berserk community is a very avid, almost aggressive fan base in their like praise of Berserk, and I've been giving it like anywhere from 8.5s to like 9s. So this is like an exceptionally good series, in my opinion. But there are a lot of commenters out there and Berserk fans that are, Berserk is simultaneously a masterpiece and an absolute 10 out of 10 and has the best art that's ever been arted in the history of art. And it is uncriticizable under any circumstances. If you have a criticism, you are clearly ignorant or just flat out wrong, or you are just incapable of comprehending the grandeur that is Berserk. So when they're like, where is it? Because Berserk fans are praising it too much and hyping it too much. I kind of see what he's saying there. I do give my honest opinion. It is an exceptionally good series. I think it's better than Mid. Let's be fair. I do think it's better than Mid, but I respect your opinion, absolutely. And the fan base gets a little bit toxic sometimes, not even gonna lie. I don't like this arc, LOL. My favorite arcs are Falcon of the Millennium Empire and The Fantasia. I get a lot of this too. Everybody has these, which is great. These I like because everybody's like, no, this arc's the worst, but coming up's the better one. Or this, everybody's got an opinion on this gets better as it goes on because everybody's like, no, this one's better. No, this is the arc, which is great, which actually just speaks to how good Berserk is, or at the very least, the variety that you get in these arcs and people's opinions. Trust me, the end of the Conviction arc is insane. Yes, it is. I agree with that one. The whole of the Conviction arc is my favorite, see? This is probably my least favorite arc. This, in my opinion, is the second best arc. Be ready for the best arc after this. It just gets, I told you, it doesn't stop. I want to talk about Farnace so bad, but I can't for spoiler reasons. All I can say is that she's the Berserk character who surprised me the most in the entire story. Thank you. First off, thank you for not spoiling things. I really would have been upset. Secondly, after finishing all of the Conviction arc, I can say that I haven't found this yet because there's nothing super duper surprising in all of this arc. So I'm assuming there's something big coming for that chick that I have yet to see. Don't tell me. You're going to hate the poor girl at the foot of the tower. LOL. Hate's a strong word, but I disliked her very strongly. Positive comment. I love them. I just like them. I'm always going to like those comments. Farnace wasn't disturbed by the Inquisitors. She was turned on. Look carefully at her facial expression. I did go back and look at it because I had several of these comments because I put up a picture and I said, oh, she was upset or disturbed or whatever. And there was plenty of these people that wanted to correct me and be like, you misread that. And I went back and I looked at it and I did misread that. Sorry. LOL. Can't wait to see what you think of Luca and Isidro at the end of the arc. I think I said it. I think I said pretty much everything I needed to say. She was fine. She was a perfectly fine character. I have no qualms with her whatsoever. Isidro is, of course, just as annoying as ever. Forgive me for ever attempting to justify this chick. She's far too gone. I can't help her. I love these words, and I will be remembering them for the future episodes. I do my best. I'm not even going to lie. I do my best to... I refuse to read further in the story until the video is done. I do my best to give you my absolute what I'm thinking and feeling. I read it, and then when I do the videos, I really do my best to go back and put myself in the mind frame that I was in as I was reading it so I can give my most genuine reaction, or at least the most accurate representation of what I was feeling at the time when I was reading it. Does that make sense? But I really do try to give you my most, so as things are evolving, I really try to make that apparent. And I also will put it right on here, I absolutely eat my words because I said this about somebody or that about somebody. So I love these comments as well because that adds a little bit of tension for me. I'm like, uh-oh, what did I do now? Oh no. I hate Casca is now a potato. Miura, mission accomplished. Oh boy. Now this one I just put on here because it was short, sweet, simple, and easy to read. But the amount of, in that video, I went on a mini rant about how I was unhappy with the direction that has been taken with Casca, and I said in there that it was my first true and genuine complaint with the storytelling, and I got just bombarded with comments. This is what Miura intended. This is intentional. You are wrong. You read it wrong. You just don't get it. You clearly don't understand. Casca, I mean, in defense of Casca, oh my God. So I just picked one that was quick and easy to read, because some of them were like 3 paragraphs long as to why that was an appropriate and accurate representation of Casca's trauma. I don't know. I'm not getting back into it. I just wanted to address the fact that these comments existed. I still stand by what I said in that video, though. So, damn. Didn't notice slant at the sex cult. Thanks. You're welcome. I loved that. You guys helped me so much with pointing out the shit I missed. I'm actually happy I got to point something out that somebody else was like, oh my God. Way to go. Way to go you, and way to go to me. We have win-win all around. But what if we don't have any goats? What if we don't have any goats? Yeah, Isidro is really annoying. He kind of ruined Berserk for me to an extent. I wouldn't go so far as to say he ruined Berserk for me, but at least there's other people that other than me that find him annoying, right? Did you notice how much the art has changed in the Conviction arc compared to the Golden Age? First off, yes, I did. Secondly, I don't feel like that's a very necessary distinction between Golden Arc and Conviction Age. I think it has changed steadily as it's gone on, from Black Swordsman to the Conviction arc, and then Black Swordsman to the Golden Age, and then from the Golden Age to the Conviction arc. And I'm assuming it's going to keep doing so as the story moves forward. Some of my favorite Berserk content out there, and I've seen a lot. I don't normally put these on here. Like when I did my last video, I didn't put a single one on there because I could fill this up with great video, good video, looking forward, blah, blah, all these little like nice things that people say. And those aren't fun to react to. It feels a little like narcissistic and like, I'm just going to sit here and pat myself on the back for 20 minutes and have people watch it. But this one, for some reason, touched me, and it really made me feel good, and I appreciated it because I believe when they say I've watched a lot, and I'm like, you know what, with the Berserk community the way it is, I believe they have watched a lot. And for them to say that it was some of their favorite, I really, thank you. Like, thank you. Seriously, that particular comment actually meant a lot. I really did appreciate that. And thank you to everybody else who says nice things. For as small of a channel as I run here, it was just nice, and thank you. I might cut all this out. This is very awkward. The goat guy is taken directly from Francisco Goya's Witch's Sabbath painting. Miura just cranked it up to 10, LOL. First off, I did not know that, and that is super cool. Secondly, you had clear opportunity for a dialed it up to 11 joke, and you failed. Isidro, just something that isn't annoying but is actually helpful. So weird, right? I know. And just so you guys don't hate me because I've been having too much fun making fun of Isidro in this comment section, I did get Isidro MVP. So there are Isidro lovers out there, I promise. I just thought it was fun to make fun of him for a video. Anyway. Sorry, guys. I think that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you next time.